Until next time, AB957 in the same back 492. Have yourself a great one. Have
Man, have a good one, Tom. 025 Eastern Tennessee. We're back, what? Hey, 025 out there in
This is the C Penney 6247 radio from the late 70s, early 80s.
sounding good this way always, man.
It's single sideband, upper sideband, lower sideband amplitude modulation.
You're doing a fine job.
Pretty straightforward. It's a 40 channel radio. Volume, squelch, fine tuning.
Excellent. You too, man. Appreciate the shout.
We have lower sideband, upper sideband, and AM, and this is the RF gain. We do have automatic noise limiter, we have noise blanker, we have the CB PA.
Here, come on.
You can use it as a PA. And of course we got a channel indicator, digital of course. And we have our S meter. Now this is a radio that's equipped with the PLL02A. So it would allow for modifications. Although this one is stock. This one is factory original. And it works as if it just came out of the box. It's a good shape. It has that wood trim that was popular in the 70s. Remember, we all had our basements done with that. And front's kind of stylish, aluminum, black bezel, clear S meter. It's just a good looking radio. I just wanted to show you that it actually works well. We got our bird watt meter. So we will switch the radio to the dummy load. We'll switch it to the dummy load. We are on the dummy load now. And let's see what we get in terms of power. We got the C Penney microphone. We got a little bit over 12 watts. We got a 50 watt slug. And we are at 27,37497. So the radio is good on frequency. And we got good power. That was upper sideband. Let's try lower, oops, sorry, that was lower sideband. Now we're going to upper sideband. Okay. 12 and a half, 13 watts, and excellent modulation. Let's see what we... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the receiver for the C Penney. Fine tune is exactly in the middle position for fully transceive. So as you can see, it works well. 12 watt is what the FCC allows for radios like this. So this is fully stock, has not been messed with. Let's see what it does on amplitude modulation. Alright, we are on amplitude modulation. Let's put the monitor receiver there too. And we are on amplitude modulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amplitude modulation. 5 watts carrier. That's a little bit more than the FCC allows. 5 watts should be 4 watt, but I think the specification is 4 watt plus minus 1 dB, so that still keeps us legal. And it's well modulated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds excellent. Good amplitude modulation. Oop, that's a bit loud. Throttle it back. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Now the Yaesu is a ham radio, and ham radios don't do a good job on AM transmit. I think it transmits only one sideband and a carrier. But as you can hear, the receiver works just fine. Propagation was better earlier today, but we still have some propagation. It's kind of nice. Wonder if that was a local. That's a big boy. As you can see, it works very well. Now for you that are familiar with the CBs from the 70s and 80s, this is basically made by Cybernet. Cybernet made a whole bunch of radios, CB radios for Lafayette. We had HyGain, we had Midland, of course we had the custom ones for companies like C Penney and you name it, Radio Shack. So this is basically a Cybernet radio, and it is very similar to the HyComs that you might be more familiar with. It has the same chassis, inside is identical. So they did these designs custom for the different warehouses of today. And C Penney actually sold CB radios, believe it or not. And very good ones. Their competitor of Cybernet was Uniden. And they are still in business, as you know. By President radios called President, and actually all the RCIs are also derivative of that. The Cybernet guys are out of business. I don't think they make CBs anymore. I don't think they're actually making anything anymore. But in the 70s and 80s they were really big. I liked the Cybernets more than the Unidens because they used better components, especially the capacitors that were used by Cybernet are vastly superior. And I have not had too many Cybernets for repair. They last very long, they never have troubles. And I have fixed a hell of a lot of Uniden CBs, and it's mostly the capacitors that give problems. So from a quality standpoint, I always liked the Cybernets much better than the Unidens. Let's quickly look at the rear of the radio. Right, quickly a look at the back of the radio. Serial number. We got the SO239 antenna connector, we got an external speaker, we got the PA, and here we have the typical Cybernet connector. You're probably aware of that one. All Cybernet radios had that connector. The Uniden had the 3-prong connector, different kind. So that's basically the back. Here the sides has this wrinkle finish, feels kind of nice. Here is the typical Cybernet 4-prong microphone connector, and we got a speaker at the bottom. Here you see the ID plate. Let's see if we can focus here. That takes a while. There we go. And there is the ID plate, and that's basically the radio. Okay. That was basically it. The C Penney's 6247 single sideband and amplitude modulation, 40 channels from the early 80s. It was an expensive radio in those days, and this one still is in excellent condition. I would give it a 9 out of 10. And fully stock, factory original, not be messed with. Thank you for watching this video.